Okay, hey everybody, it's Joey. I'm on my way home now. I made a video this morning just kind of praising him, doing some spiritual warfare, handling things, and I'm breaking one of my major rules, which is on my phone, while I'm driving, but I'm not texting. This is just a recording so I can control. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to share though with you guys some of those people that are just now starting to come to the understanding or may have an inkling, and if you are seeing any of, the people in this community that have been there and the fruit is in their life of where they were and now where they're going, you can see the success. That's only going to happen by the hand of God on your life. So he takes his hand off and life gets us in. However the world wants to define the phenomena of gang stalking, it's a matter of, it's a matter of what your interpretation is regarding any word. So I mean, as far as gang stalking goes, and what I'm bringing, I say all this to say, okay, I don't know about, but this narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, so I try to research because I want to know, what I'm dealing with on what the world says, that this personality, these personality types, or this behavioral problem, it's bordering this, the spiritual, because it gets to the point where they have, the difference, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, all those worldly man-given terms that make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you might say, I've got demons that I have to deal with. And it takes humility and reaching out, for Jesus Christ to help with that walk. But in essence, human beings and as in general like to hear things that make things softer and easier rather than spoken from love, the truth, regardless. And that is, if you're seeing these videos, you're reaching out, you're crying out, and you're definitely being led to getting this information. However, the Holy Spirit wants to use it to give you revelation. But anyway, so narcissist, from what I'm gathering, it would be like when we talk about the gang stalkers, or those that make up the hierarchy under Satan and his rule. And you've got to know and be aware, as a good warrior, you have to know how the enemy moves. But I urge you, initially, most of us weren't even saved when this all began, and maybe getting saved in the process. I believe that's one of the main things. But saying that you believe in knowing and actually knowing with having an experience that's mind-changing and transforming, that's where we're at. So yeah, I wanted to say, if you want to start and do some research, and you can make the connection between how they talk about narcissistic personality disorder and how they the gang stalkers are. The similar terms, gaslighting's used, that they're defining gaslighting. And, again, the idea with these life coaches that I've seen a couple of them on, they're pretty good. The idea is that, you meet the person where they're at. So wherever they are with their belief system, you meet them right there. And you just take it very, very slowly, inviting Holy Spirit in. But, yeah, I just wanted to come at you guys with that kind of angle until it's a process. It's a process that takes time, and sometimes you're delivered in an instant. Other times, it's the relationship that you're cultivating that has always been there, but is suddenly you're aware of this living relationship, this ever-present relationship between you and your Creator, and that he wants to help, and he's always been there, and just learning about him. And that takes nurturing a relationship. It isn't just a one-time thank you Jesus or whatever. And actually, truth be known, it's through this pain and through this suffering and through this that he makes himself known. Because I don't know about you guys, nobody really you don't hear about too many people that cry out to the Lord from the real core, like when you're broken, and you just from that deep part of your spirit and your belly, and just you cry out to the Lord, and then he's there for sure, and you have an encounter usually. But to get to that point, you have to know pain and suffering. You have to know what it's like to be falsely accused of molesting your stepdaughter or stepson, or as a stepmom sleeping with her. Just the most rudest, crudest, ruleless. I mean, the narcissistic personality characteristics fit exactly in line with what a lot of the gang stalkers live their individual, this whole energy that they carry about themselves. So I think it's just a way of waking up those that are asleep, but we got to call it what it is. Unless you can identify it for what it is specifically, how do you deal with it? But once you can identify what they talk about things in terms of feelings or emotions. And that's, okay, that's okay for a starting point, maybe. But honestly, at the end of the day, Jesus Christ is putting him first, inviting him in, and just having faith. No matter what happens, you go with this, asking him to guide you and lead you in all things. Because that's just how you do with the relationship. You just don't call him up and say, let's go to dinner Friday, and then forget about him all week long. That's not going to work out too well for you. But in this Sodom and Gomorrah time that we live in, and the sexual immorality that's going on, it's obviously, very end time feeling, as they talk about the end times. But I don't know about you, the mission at hand is still souls that, he's already saved. And we're just gonna, I just want to do my part in praying for people, praying for the lost, praying for my brother, sister, the enemy, praying for all flesh, that they would come to know Jesus Christ and that they would be set free from the demonic oppression that they're in bondage to, just as I was and can still be. I just have to do self-checks, and I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out for those of you that aren't still going with the Jesus, going with the truth. And with the reality is that Jesus is getting your attention, and he's gotten your attention at this point. And now you need a solution. And everything that you and everyone else that you've asked or researched or looked up, you come up short. The only answer is it stretches you. It makes you display your faith, that you believe in something you can't see. That's next level stuff right there. So, and that's where believing comes in, that through all things with Christ, all things through Christ are possible for those who believe in him. And I believe that. I believe so. I'm just going to do my part and be obedient. And so check out narcissistic personality disorder. And, there's different ends of the spectrum as far as characteristics and types, because some are extreme and some are very, very, we all have narcissistic qualities about ourselves, but some people are on the spectrum of the fact that it's some kind of a range that the doctors and the psychiatrists and everyone uses to give this type of, when there's behavioral problems, when there's behavior that does certain things, like we say, it's like they all do the same thing. It's like they all go to the same school to learn how to be gang stalkers. That's not flesh and blood. That's the spiritual influence that is in and upon these people. That, all of us to a degree, that we're close to, but only through Jesus Christ we'll know what the Holy Spirit wants to tell us. But I just wanted to grab your attention with that, and it is interesting because it's opened my understanding even more of how to spot, or how to just certain things. It just really reinforced it. So it's good to also check that out, because like you can get lost in these wormholes of different things about microwave. There's all kinds of things, but again, these days, in order to study your enemy and know your enemy, you have to know who it is you're fighting with and for and why. You can't, it's just like, knowing about a baseball player, their stats or whatever. You might know their stats, but to know them personally is a different thing. And that's, I think, what God is trying to do, or is going to do through this experience that you're having, wherever you are in the gang stalking, wherever you are and you walk. You got to keep your eyes on Jesus. Get to know him. Ask him who he is for you this season in your life. Is he a loving father? Is it father wounds that need to be taken care of? Is it something you need to address and let the Holy Spirit lead you and guide you and release that one thing at a time, and just ask for forgiveness and give your life, it's just whatever it could be. there's different things that we each have to deal with in ourselves, and life is nothing but a mirror held up in front of us at times, and we see ourselves. And so what you might see around you that you don't like about this situation or that situation, it's really just kind of sometimes it's a very hard lesson to hear, or situation reality to see that your perspective on your own reality could be completely masked by influence from the demonic, and so we're not seeing things rightly, or we appear to others as if we're having a delusion, a psychotic break or delusion. But there's a way that you can navigate in the words that you can use in here to where, they're having the same problem in the world that is unsaved still, those that have not called upon his name, but will eventually. So, they're all waking up slowly. And then I think, but there's bigger masses and bigger, groups of people, I think, having revelatory experiences together. But, again, getting to know Jesus and God and how he's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So what he did back in the day, is what he's still doing today, and he'll do tomorrow, because he's unchanging. He isn't like human beings who are wishy-washy and fickle as, fudge cake, and bounce around all over the place. He is the same, and he is just, and he is merciful. So again, and he will show you, Holy Spirit will show, they will show you what it is about our own lives that we need to heal, and we don't have any business pointing the finger at anybody else. We can't take a plank out of my brother's eye, or the stick out of my brother's eye when I have a plank in mine. I can't do it, and I find that the flesh at times wants me to do that, and that's a spiritual influence. That's an influence. That's the Holy Spirit. So what am I focusing on? What am I hearing? What kind of music's playing in the background? What kind of energy is around me? And then do we need to change it up? Say some prayer. Just thank the Lord. Just thank Him. If you don't even know what to say, just thank Him. I believe in you. Your will, my will. Just thank Him. Recognize, acknowledge, and He'll be there. And I'm praying for all of you. So education and combined with Holy Spirit, that's the best teacher. But some of those things, those lessons that we've learned through experience, that only experience can teach, and Holy Spirit. But I pray that truth surround each and every one of you, that you have the mind of Christ. And talk to you soon. Bye.